Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Hello and welcome back to another episode of another pod, Do Not Relent. If my recording sounds weird, I don't know how my computer's interacting with new microphones, so please let me know. I'm Slidewhistle.
Hello, it's Immunization. And yes, Slidewhistle has built a new computer.
Ooh, congratulations. It's me, Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag. And for all our listeners out there, here's a little bit of Dark Trap.
I have no idea what that genre is, but yeah.
Statistically, roughly a third of you loved that.
Spotify told me that 70% of you guys like to watch video podcasts. I feel like they were trying to send us a subtle message of do video podcasts. And I was like, maybe.
I was like, no, it's not a podcast if we do that.
We are also announcing our beef today with the Potty C. I don't know who they are, but they're trying to muscle in on our territory. Joe can take it. He can buy us out. But Potty C, your days are numbered.
Yeah, Potty C listeners, let me know what that's about. I've never heard of them. Like every other podcast I saw that you guys like watch or listen to, like I recognize, but that one is one I never heard of before.
But yeah, for the uninitiated, we got our podcast Spotify Wrapped, so that's what we're referencing here.
I'm also trying not to jingle my espresso martini around, so there's that going on.
When did you boys become fancy lads? Did you get an espresso martini kit?
No,
is there a lot of
it's
espresso
also
floating around?
Super not fancy. There's like out of glass, like glasses, not martini glasses, like
like a Kelly Big Glup.
No, imagine that much espresso martini. No, his is in like
it's a mason cup,
a mason jar, and and we used iced coffee instead of espresso, and we did use Kahlua, so like that. There's that, but we don't have a shaker, so I just mixed it in this morning's Dunkin' iced coffee cup, and then strained it with the lid.
Oh no! Use like a disposable cup.
He did it over the sink like a gremlin cooking crack, so it definitely is not fancy.
I just have a Mountain Dew hard yet again because I panicked when I was at the liquor store. I was like, do I like these? And I'm drinking them. It is all right.
I mean, you've been inspired by the Mountain Dew, just like we've been inspired by the Mountain Dew to give you, that's right, you, the listener, a Mountain Dew bike. We're thinking of giving away 2 bikes, maybe 3 if we can get enough Doritos from the 7-Eleven.
Yeah, so anyways, we don't know what this contest is going to be. Like, you know, like DNR listeners know we do contests every once in a while. What do we think that we should do this time, boys?
Tell you what, if we're going to give you this chopper to go across Azeroth, I want to know where you're going to go with it. Describe to me the perfect Mountain Dew motorcycle-themed trip across Azeroth. Where are you going? What are you doing? Who are you meeting?
Paint us a picture, either with a screenshot or just through text somehow. Like, describe where you will be riding this bicycle.
Yeah, do whatever the hell it takes to figure out where you're riding this bicycle. And special note, remember, if you are not in America, a lot of you, by the way, we know that, you can still get this bike. I'm very certain EU accounts can use the bike. I think Canada even. Isn't Canada different?
Yeah, Canada can't do it either. But yes, you can't buy the Doritos, but you can use the code. I know because there's people on like r/wow who are selling them for like $15. But you could get it technically for free just by listening to your 4th favorite show.
We can use our American money to buy American Doritos to get you an American bike, even if you aren't American.
This is the real America that we've been talking about since 1776. Eagle screech so I don't break the microphone. I was going to try it, but I feel like I would have just pitched really bad.
Yeah, it's better we got it in post. I threw something in there.
But yeah, I will be making a thread in our Discord, so you can put submissions there. You could also email us at donotrelentlpod@gmail.com. You could send it to us, I guess, in Twitter DMs, Blue Sky DMs. Speaking of Blue Sky DMs, I don't know if I mentioned it on this podcast, but like we've been getting some weird DMs in there. We've been officially recruited to join the cult, or the Illuminati, I believe.
It's about damn time.
Yeah, it's wild that in 2024, I feel like a time when innovation is everywhere. These people doubled back just to go back to the Illuminati, like real peepaw shit. I appreciate it. You know, the oldies, they're still goldies.
Yeah, but however you want to submit an entry into this, we'll find it somehow, I'm sure, and count it. So yeah. As far as an end date, when do we want to announce the winners by? Do the 2 or 3 of them or whatever?
Oh my god, it ends January 31st, so we actually have a lot of time. We don't have to do that long.
We got it.
But,
we
okay.
got it. Really put some juice in this story. You got some time.
So we can deliver it on Christmas. I think that'll be kind of funny. So when is that? Is that 3 weeks?
Yeah, that's 20 days from now.
Obviously, we just created this entire giveaway like on air right now, so we don't really know. Just, I don't know, send us shit and then we'll decide, and then you will get a motorcycle probably.
The week, hold on. Well, depending on who submits, we don't know how many people are going to submit. But anyway, Christmas week. Shoot for that. Figure that out, people. Also, speaking of Mountain Dew, you guys got to get in there and stream World of Warcraft on Discord to get your crown or the Violet Rose.
What's so funny, the number of times I've seen people just like in a call with like one other person just streaming, just like idled in like Dornagal or something. Like Slide legitimately got home from work, made me get on Discord so that he could stream it to me while I was working still.
So does it only count if someone's watching? Because, yeah, Cubby Bub happened to be around, and she watched, quote, me do my stream, and then Slidewhistle also stopped in. Or can you stream to nobody for 15 minutes and then just walk away?
It specifically says stream to a friend, so I think you have to have somebody watching it.
But I haven't done this yet. What even is the reward? And it's like a Discord quest, right?
Yeah, it's a Discord quest, and it is in-game, like an in-game item, but remember the pink crown that you didn't like? This one is in like the goth purple. So if you're wearing the Sailor Saturn set, then this is the crown to go with it.
Okay, I mean, like, I'll do it eventually. How long do we have until that is done?
This ends, I believe, Monday, December 9th. So if you're hearing this over the weekend, you nailed it. If you're tuning in, the week just started for you on Monday. Sorry, loser, you missed it.
It's been out for a while, though, so I don't know. I just forgot about it, honestly. I think I even accepted the quest on Discord, but I just haven't forced Slide to view me do nothing in WoW for 15 minutes.
Well, if you're not going to do that, maybe you're going to buy the Sky Witch pack. Oh,
Sky
It's been
Witch.
ages since I've seen the Sky Witch.
Embrace the chill of winter with the Sky Witch pack. Cloak yourself in the Sky Witch's garb and race through the icy night on the soaring Sky Fox, capturing the essence of the season's magic. It's $30 for a white anime outfit and a white fox.
Yeah,
Go
so
crazy.
this entire time I was like, Skywitch said, I know nothing about this. So as you were inviting me in enchantingly, I went to the launcher. I clicked on the thing. Yeah, it's just the anime witch set and the anime witch fox, but they're in white now. Have fun.
I will not be buying it, but I mean, it's fine, I guess. It's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know that it's worth $30, so that's why I won't be buying it.
All of these foxes are literally the same model, just recolored. There's something about this one that seems extra mean. The other foxes, like, they were nice, cool guys. This guy sounds like an enemy. This guy he wants to harm me when I ride him.
Yeah, I don't really trust this ice witch.
Yeah, I think it's the purple eye. Yeah, you just can't trust a Sky Witch.
Speaking of people you can't trust, we've run into a little bit of guild drama.
Dum. What happened? Oh, wait, I know.
Well, first off, before we get to the drama part, I feel like it was a very overall productive week. We somehow cleared all of normal with achievements and all of heroic. People got alt content in, and we got AOTC for the people who weren't there when we got it originally. So that on paper, it's a very, very successful, like, 2 nights of raiding.
Yeah, I was surprised that and I guess we had to shape up a little bit. Lynn was getting a little testy on Ansarac, last night, but we ultimately have really just downloaded the entirety of Nerebar Palace. I feel like not since... It's weird. Sanctum of Domination felt really tough. Then at the same time, I remember bringing in like randoms on people's 4th alts to complete that on Heroic. I feel like that's the last time that we truly just downloaded a raid like that.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I will say it felt pretty nice. I got to bring my Evoker in. He was like 613, got a full Heroic clear. Did pretty good. I don't know. I felt like my dragon was dragoning. Feels like we hadn't changed anything. And it's so unfortunate how much better it felt to play than Shadow Priest, like in every single aspect. Movement, casting.
I feel like the only not good thing is range, right?
Yeah, but then I can just like get all up in its ass. And you know what? One of the good changes they made, so when I hover, I can cast while I hover. And now when I do my big flying dragon breath, it resets my hover charges. So for the first like 2 minutes of that fight, I am just free casting while flying. It's amazing.
This dude's over here defying gravity.
Don't reference that in front of Slidewhistle. He hates all musicals, but he hated Wicked, so
we can talk about this on, if you want to hear us talk about Wicked, which I don't know if you even do, honestly. We're After Dark, I feel like will be a lot of Wicked talk. Maybe some more movies in general, which is our Patreon. If you are out there and not a Patreon member, $5 a month. Come check us out. We talk about random shit and get drunker at patreon.com/do not relent.
Or you could also just find all of our podcast links by going to donotrelent.com.
Ooh, that's a good reminder that I need to change the billing so we keep that URL, because they sold Google domains to Squarespace and I haven't done that yet. So
Ew, yuck, Squarespace stinks. The McElroy brothers lied.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the drama in Raid. So we have pretty lax rules when we raid, except for one aspect.
I think we quite literally only have one rule, and it like with regards to loot, and that rule is that mains always take priority over anything else. So like if you have an alt and you see that somebody else's main is rolling for something that you're eligible to roll on, you just pass on it. Basically, that's like the only real rule, I would say.
Now, has this been established for a while? Because I remember, and maybe it was because everyone was a main, but just other people felt they were more deserving of it. I feel like there was a lot of drama, even in like Dragonflight, of people being like, I can't believe Garble got these. Garble's numbers are so bad and mine are so good. I deserve the cuffs. Was it just, it was main on main violence, and this was the first instance of main on alt?
Yes, a lot. I would say most of the arguments have been main on main violence, where it's just some D-bag being like, oh, they're not pulling their weight. And it's like, we told you at the beginning, this is how this is going to go. Like, it was very laid out, very straightforward. You knew the rules coming in. We have old people. What do you want?
Yeah, I feel like any drama that people have had in the past is because like they just didn't like that we don't have like a council, or we don't have like it's quite literally a free for all, especially now that it's all just like we all just roll on things. And I don't know, like if you're just unlucky, then like you just don't get them. Like it's just the way that it is. I don't know. But like I feel like a lot of people probably take a little bit of like, I mean, I know at least personally, like if I had like another heroic piece that is like slightly worse stats, if I see like other people who need like that, I won't be needing on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I know that like raid is where I would say it'd be 3/4 of our people get their loot. So like I do the same thing. I'll pass on pretty much everything, and then at the very end I'll just start needing on things, and I'm like, yeah, come on, give me this shit. I can roll for this too. Now there has been before some alt on main violence. Vegemite era, when he was really popping off, I think he was getting mad about that fact. And it's like, it's just clear, like these are people, they're gonna get their loot, and they also want to finish the transmog sets for the tier, which I totally get, because once I am out of a tier, I'm not gonna go back and farm a recent raid. I haven't gone back into any Legion raid other than kill Jaden, I think.
I haven't either, and like honestly, it's probably for the best that we didn't, because like nowadays with the way that we can just really get mogged for anything, it's better to do it now than it would have been when like if you would have had this thought like 2 years ago or whatever.
It really kills me, though, because the amount of sets that I go back, like the last 4 raid tiers that I didn't complete the achievement, it's been because I'm missing like one thing. And I'm almost like, come on, guys, community night. Let's all go back to like Aberrus, because I need that cape. If you get the cape, you legally have to give it to me.
Yeah, honestly, same here. I don't remember the last time I actually got one of these achievements for getting the full set. I know that, like, actually, I think the cape in Aberrus that you're talking about, I think, doesn't it come from, like, a BOE drop even? Like, it's not even, like, from one of the bosses, I don't think.
Yeah, it's weird. The only reason that I got it this time is because I really tried to stay on top of my my magical mythical machine. Like, I got the achievement for doing all of the Nerebar Palace set, but a solid 3/4 of it was me just turning other things, probably to a stat detriment, but I was like, I want this achievement eventually.
Yeah, I save pretty much every piece of gear that I touch, and I put it into my bank. So at the end of the expansion, when it's time to finish the set, I will go through my fucking closet and then be like, what can I switch over?
That's so funny that you guys are saying this because, like, similarly, I have an entire bag of old gear that I still need to upgrade to, like, you know, the 5 out of 8 or whatever when you get, like, the upgraded Mog from. But I'm like, but I still need my Valor Stones to, like, actually upgrade my gear. So, like, I just have, like, 10 pieces, like, set off to the side that, like, I'm like, you know, when I do have some Valor Stones, I will upgrade these to get the Mog from them.
All this was to say that there was a crime committed on Tuesday of raid night.
Do tell us, Slidewhistle, what was said crime?
Siraj was on a priest, his priest, who nobody noticed was 570, which honestly wasn't that big of a deal until I think Rashadan.
I mean, shit, I was like 570, 572. I had a green neck out there. I was just like, please do not boot me. I have no one else to turn to. Believe it or not, this is my second most geared character.
Luckily, see, but you didn't do a crime, though. You know what I mean? You were under the radar not doing crime. So I think it's fine.
Only because of ignorance. I had forgotten that this rule of not rolling on things you need was a thing. So if there was, if Cynical was like, oh, I'll need those plate shoes, he would not have gotten them from me because I was needing on everything.
I think that's also part of so that this rule has been such a long thing for so long that the officers we don't even like check. Like if somebody rolls something, usually we're just like, yeah, sure, whatever. The only reason we knew is if somebody says something. So I don't think Cynical would ever bring it up because he often gives away loot that he fucking needs to keep. He's like, who wants this trinket? We're like, Sin, isn't that your best in the slot? Yeah, but I don't really want to use it. I'm like, Sin, what?
Yeah, and also it's such a long established rule that, like, perhaps people forgot about it. So, like, basically the officers are now just talking about how, like, on nights when we have alts in the raid, we might just need to, like, start the raid night off with reminding people so that this does not happen again.
Which is fair. Again, we hadn't even got to what happened. Rosh took a piece of loot that wasn't his. He rolled against Cass. They both are clothies. And he rolled need and she rolled need. And that was her last piece to complete her Nerebar Palace set.
And not only to complete the set, but she still had, like, a champion track belt. So, like, it not only was it for completing the set, it also was just a straight up, like, actual upgrade too.
That boy slapped on the stuff so fast. He put it on so quick. So really what happened was I think Cass whispered Lynn is usually how it goes down. So that's when the eye level was noticed, because again, we're just like, whatever. Who really cares? It's a heroic, like, secondary run. We have AOTC. But it's just so funny that he committed this crime so blatantly, and now we're just, like, kind of, like, making it sound like we're blowing it out of the water because it's funny.
I mean, and everything ended up working out okay, because when we got Heroic Queen down at the end of the second night, there was, like, I guess, like, Queen Anzarak also drops a belt for cloth, so Cass was able to get that, which would have been better anyways, right? Like stats wise.
But it was really funny because Cass was pissed on Tuesday. I mean, I get it. Like Rosh came in on a baby priest and stole her waist. But so the next day when the second waist dropped and Cass rolled for it. Immune was on his priest to heal us, and he was like, should I take it?
So like I needed to be on my priest because like I guess like some combination of like the other raid group not doing a second night because like I guess people just didn't show up. Like anyways, we combined into one group, and there weren't enough healers, so I hopped on my priest, and like when that belt dropped, I like almost rolled need on it just as a joke. But then I was like, I can't. I passed because I don't know why it would have let me roll need when like I had a mythic track belt on my priest.
I was about to say, I can't imagine at this point you guys are slacking, that even though that's technically like quotes in alt, that you don't have, you guys are strapped to the gills.
I also don't think it would have been quite as egregious if I took it, just because like I do fill that role of bringing my priest as a healer when we need it, and it's a very geared priest, and it's not a detriment in any way, really.
We will probably not see Rashalos like ever again, or maybe like once or twice. So yes, it is much more egregious for some guy to get it instead of you.
My favorite part though, so Cass, I love Cass. Like she's one of my favorite raiders. She's a grandma, so she's always kind of vibing. I always think of the day she fell into her keyboard and went, oh shit, oh, she crashed into an open mic. But so Lynn goes, oh Cass, a belt dropped. You're gonna win it. And Cass goes, well, I sure hope so. The way she said it.
It's so funny. And like that's when she said that's when I turned to Slide and I was like, should I roll on? But then like I if I would have won it, then I would have immediately just said over her voice, I'm like, it's a joke. It is a joke. I'm trading you.
Take it. So yeah, I'm curious. I feel like the raid group's only gonna shrink as we go on. Hopefully,
yeah, especially because a couple people, it was like, wait, we're just doing alt runs now, and it's like, yeah, kind of. Oh, well, I'm not coming back.
Didn't we like just get AOTC like 2 weeks ago? Like, and then last week was like Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and like Christmas is coming up. Like, there's so many. I'm like, guys, you don't have to show up. Like, we're done. Now we're super done. Now that we got mini AOTC, like, I'm about to start bringing my mage through this shit. I'm about to get Deoxyribos ready to raid.
I was realizing that like I don't really have a character that's ready to be brought on alt raid nights, just because I have like two mains effectively. But so I was like, I either need to like figure out how to like fuck around with Feral or Boomkin on Garage so that I can come as a DPS, or gear him up a little bit, and like if we need him as a tank, he can do that too, depending on what people swap around to. That's probably more likely because I feel like, I don't know, maybe Ahoy would want to bring a DPS or healer alts or something.
I think Ahoy's taking a break, by the way. So, yeah, maybe Garage. Maybe it is Garage's time, because Kojak's, our backup tank, basically sounded like he was ready to be done Tuesday. And then Ahoy told me separately that he was like, yeah, I think I'm taking a break, probably, maybe.
I mean, it is the time to take a break, because it's like the holidays. We have AOTC for a few weeks. We got, as you said, like getting like our last raiders like Mini that like missed the kill, their AOTC. Like I feel like that is like the final thing. I'm like, okay, we did it.
Hey, Maria's calling. Should I put her on the podcast?
I don't know if that's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't know what she's gonna say. Anything else from Raid other than how successful it was? I think that's just my takeaway.
I didn't get doo-doo poo-poo. I will get things in my vault because of going through it, but I'm mad. I didn't get shit. I even did my homework. I did delves and stuff to prepare so that I could earn my place there. And then I didn't get poo-poo doo-doo. I think because our group was too small. So it dropped like a cloth shoulder and a leather boot.
It dropped like 2 pieces. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, and then frickin' Billy's guy stole the one piece of plate, so Booty ATW went home.
What was he on?
He was tanking at some point on his death knight that like you were saying that like you don't remember him having this character, and I also don't remember him having that character.
I've only ever known Billy to have Billy like the rogue, so him being anything else, I'm like, who is you?
When's Booty gonna tank?
Oh, yeah, you know what? Honestly, I should, because I have 560 swords, and I have a 590 one hand and a 590 shield. Blizzard is fucking up somehow. They are not giving out two-handed weapons to Fury, and I don't know what it is, but every time I get a box and it gives me a weapon, it's a one-handed weapon, which, yes, I can technically use, but the stats are so terrible compared to his two-hand that it's like, no, you're better off using your blue swords.
Jesus.
But I'm over here, I have 2 blue swords, and it's just embarrassing. And I've had those blue swords for months.
I gotta get rid of these pieces of shit.
No, like actually though, like I was almost gonna buy them. Like I was gonna use I almost used under coins, the delve coins, to buy new swords, but those are only 580. Like they're still blue. It's barely an upgrade. But I'm like, anything to upgrade these stupid swords. My big sword with a piece of metal on the end and my shovel.
Am I remembering incorrectly, or did you tank an alt raid at one point in the past? I thought you did.
No, I tanked when we used to hang out with the guy from Australia or New Zealand. I tanked the beginning of Hellfire Citadel.
Oh, wow. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Because having a shield and a sword has always been interesting to me, so Booty ATW's first iteration was as a protection tank.
Was she glad?
Well, I think I wanted to make her glad. I used a sword and a shield 0 to 9 when we were on the island. And then I distinctly remember it was like, oh, I don't want to tank. And it's like, well, you have to with a sword and a shield. So that's when she became arms and then later Fury for most of her life. But yeah, I did protection tank when we would run stuff together in Draenor. And then when we were doing our learning how to raid. But it's like the very nice Australian man's like, oh, you're not very good. You need to go home and read up on how to do things. And that's when I was like, I actually never want to do this ever again. I don't like being a utility character ever.
I agree, though. The feeling of sword and boarding in WoW is peak fantasy. Like, I love when I'm on my paladin and, like, I'll tank with him. Just throwing the shield and just like, it's just cool. The animations are sick. I wish we had more of that for DPS.
That's like the only reason. I feel like whenever I play Classic, I always just become a one hand and shield character because it's like, it's the only time I get to do so without feeling bad. Like I can walk around as a prot warrior and do content, but it's like I go into a dungeon or I go into a raid. I have like a job to do now. They don't need me to do shit in Classic. I just hit stuff and go, yay!
Well, speaking of classic, both of y'all have been dipping into it. I haven't. But also I saw Aaron post somewhere about how we like blaming us for being like, y'all got me to waste my time in this. I'm like, I literally have said this entire time that I do not give a shit about it and I will not be going into it. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm easily molded. I'm very malleable. Simply talking about the adventures and Calcus and Vanderlyle going on there like, yeah, this is my level 17 undead rogue Smingle. And I'm like, well, damn, I guess I want to have a level 17 undead rogue. So I go in there, I load up my man Rubdunk. I was like, he's going to be a paladin because that's not a warrior. Well, guess what, buds? He plays almost nearly the same. And I'm like level 13 and I'm hating it. I'm just like, this isn't any funner than it was the first time.
Where are you right now?
I am in Loch Modan. I actually, the other day, I completed
13? Is that right?
Yeah. Well, he's Lil, but I didn't feel like going. So it's either try and do Loch Modan and 13 and like stuff's difficult, or I guess I could go to Elwyn Forest and like fart out experience there. Yeah. But maybe that's the move. But Classic is interesting in that when you're doing things alone, you can accomplish nothing. When you're doing things together, it's piddly pee. So I'm just going around and like following people and then being like, hey, want to team up? But then this is the classic of it all. People are actively saying no. Like three-fourths of the time, if I go and I'm like, can you help? They'll say no. And I'm like, what? The classic community though.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is people who have done this like a million times and are like, I know how to get through this area. Like, I don't need help. And you're like, no, but like, I need help. Like, me need help.
Where's that classic community, huh?
I'm level 17, almost 18 on Sprockbert, my rogue. And something that I found out, because again, I'm not looking anything up, and all my information is being sourced from inside of the game. You are going to end up ping-ponging back and forth a lot to make it easier. So because I'm a gnome, right? So I started in the Dwarven area. I took the tram to... Wait, the tram. Is that right? Yeah.
Yes, the Deep Run tram. You took it to Elwyn Forest.
So I did that, and then I did some Westfall, and then I started to do Red Ridge like I did in the past, and I was like, this doesn't feel right. So I went back to Stormwind, and I was like, hey guys, if you're level 17, where would you level, hypothetically? Just to see what like people would say.
Hypothetically, they see like you're level 17. It's just a hypothetical question here.
And I got people saying, go to Red Ridge, go to Red Ridge. And I was like, what the fuck? And then the dude whispered me and said, these people are insane. Do not go to Red Ridge if you're solo. Go back to Loch Modan and go do the quests there. And I was like, yes, sir. You know.
I thought that they were parallel. Like, so ideally you could do Dunmoreau into Loch Modan into wetlands, but then you could also do Elwyn into Westfall into like Duskwood. Or is it like it's better for you to go? It's like, well, no, Loch Modan is technically easier than Westfall, but Westfall is not as difficult as wetlands.
I think a lot of it is just how much EXP you get on the way. So I actually did all of Westfall already. I'm missing like the Captain Sanders booty quest because the Murlocs didn't drop it or whatever. But I did the rest of Westfall pretty much. And so now I was in a weird area. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I can do. So like the man said, I went back to Loch Modan. And there's like level 18, 17 quests that I'm doing. And what's crazy is that I realized I've never seen original Loch Modan.
You have never seen it when the water was there? Yeah, it's real weird.
Yeah, because so like we don't know. Okay, Immune. He's making a face of surprise.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, there used to be a lock in Loch Modan.
You know, it's in the name, but I didn't really think anything about it.
Okay, so I remember we hated leveling in Loch Modan when we first started in Draenor because remember how the bridge is all fucked up and you fall down and there's no water? So in Classic, that dam is complete. Like, it's a standing structure. There are dwarves just on it, and they're all talking about how they're worried that the Dark Iron dwarves are going to blow it up. And I was doing quests, and there's, like, saboteurs planting mines. So I guess when Deathwing came over, he obviously broke the dam, or he destroyed it. And then the Dark Iron dwarves were like, we're going to make it worse. And they blew up more stuff to make it impassable.
Also,
it's crazy.
And this is... Once again, old heads would be like, you stupids, but please just roll with me here. And I never thought about the fact that that's where all the fucking water in wetlands comes from. Like, because I accidentally went to wetlands, and I was running down the road, and all the guys were like, this was not the path to go. We're all 25, and we'll kick your teeth in. So I was like, fuck! I was like, I don't want to waste time. I've accidentally found myself in the middle of wetlands. I don't want to turn around and try and go back to Loch Modan and have a guy kill me, because then I'm ruined. I'm stuck here. So I was like, I'm going to go find Captain Placeholder in Menethil. And I didn't even think about the fact that, yeah, before Deathwing broke the lock in Loch Modan, it was like a functioning city. Like, everyone was walking around like, ha ha ha, we'll never be ghosts. Our trading system will always function. And I was like, it's so weird to be here where, like, the floor isn't sticky and damp.
So the wetlands were they even wet? Like,
they were damplands, but like if you go to modern wetlands, you're wading through water
like
a lot of the time.
Underwater lands, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, like, well, knee deep lands. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll show you the lock. I mean, it's crazy because it's literally like I'm looking at an ocean. It's like a vast, very pixelated sea. So at this point, now that I'm in Loch Modan, I'm back in. Like I am back on the tree because I'm doing quests in areas that I haven't ever done before. Like I've done all the other shit. Like I've done the Dunmorrow quests, even though it's sped up, right? This is like quests I haven't seen before. It's weird being on the bridge that like we know is destroyed, the ramp, the dam that's destroyed. So that's cool. I didn't really consider the possibility of how many areas I'd be interacting with that were different than what it is like now, because I've made it far enough. So we'll see how long I keep going. This is renewed me a little bit though.
Is this the farthest you've made it in a classic from the start character?
I tried to check my levels on Benedict, my priest, and I couldn't fucking find him. Did I delete him? Like, where is he?
He would be in... Because he was a normal classic. He didn't stay behind, so... Or did they make a copy of our guys without us opting into it?
That's what I'm not sure, because I booted up the regular classic realms, and I couldn't find him, but maybe I transferred him.
He would be in Kata, right?
Maybe.
He would technically be in WoW Kata, because unless you opted into him staying in the vanilla realm, he just continued to go throughout the cycles, so...
You might be right. I should check the other ones. But I feel like this might be the farthest. I don't remember how far Benedict made it. But again, the Red Ridge is reminding me that's where I made it with Benedict. So this might be very similar areas still. What are you going to level Immune?
I've been very clear that I'm not going to be participating in any classic shenanigans. I can live vicariously through y'all and hear about these things I didn't know existed, and that's enough for me, so...
And you know what? And considering Randolph was this is just paladin slander now. Considering Randolph, your original guy, was a paladin, I get it. That's a boring fucking class. Here's the hot strat, everyone. And I swear, if there's a different way, tell me, because I've leveled, I've looked at my abilities every single time I get a level up. I go back to Keranos and then run my ass back to wherever I'm supposed to be. You put on a seal. You use Judgment to remove the seal, and while Judgment's on cooldown, you put the seal back on and auto-attack a guy. That's all it has been for 13 levels. And I was like, wow, Pride of the Alliance, Rubdunk, here we go.
Have you bought new talents from Paladin Trainer?
Yes, I have. And they're like, remove a curse, or like, resurrect a guy. Like, I have really been trying to find anything to do, but for 13 levels, all it has been is put on seal, remove it, put it on again. 10 seconds went by. Time to remove it again.
No, yeah, that does sound kind of familiar. I think I've heard this before. So, hey, you're living the dream, pal.
Adin.
At the same time, I'm like, I yearn for other classes, but it's like, I'm not gonna waste another weekend getting a 13 on something else. It's Rubdunk all the way, baby. I'm riding this train until I die.
Yeah, get up there. Because I want to do a classic dungeon, and my plan is to just be at a level. I'm going to ask people in the chat, hey, what level can I run Deadmines at? And whatever level they tell me, I'm going to hit that level, and I'm going to apply to groups, and I don't know how the fuck, I don't know how to do AoE as a rogue. Do I do AoE? I have no clue.
I cannot imagine running Deadmines in Classic. Deadmines on Yum takes 10 minutes. What is going to be like, you're missing out on your day? Immune's going to be like, Slide, let's go to bed. And you're like, we're only at the two-headed goblin.
It's not even the two-headed goblin, because aren't the bosses different in there? I think all the bosses are different in Classic Deadmines.
Well, yeah, it's the old one, so it would just be the big ogre. The first boss is just a big ogre.
Well, maybe I'll do it on a Saturday when I know I have a lot of time on my hands. Did you guys do the weekly archive quest? Immune, did you do it?
You know the answer. I have not done it yet. I actually do think that, like, on my hunter, I have collected the fragments. I just haven't went to go turn it in and read it yet. So, I mean, feel free to talk about it. I can see it on your screen up there, too, so I can follow along.
Was this 2 weeks ago? There's not one this current.
Correct.
That started 2 days ago. Okay, yes.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks ago. We got another message from Archaedus.
In this one, if I remember correctly, he just gives the whole game up. Archaedus straight up says, like, we are subjugating the Earthen. We're making them put their memories away because we don't want them having memories. No other reason. We give it a fun name because we want them to do it willingly. Ha ha ha. We really goofed on them. And then, like, Bryn is, like, tightening her hand, and she doesn't have blood, but blood is trickling from her palm because her fingernails are digging into her palm as Archaedus is doing the Fortnite L dance on the projection.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. So they do it because they figured that the Thragar that almost broke the machine before were too much of a threat. So Archaedus was like, the issue of Earthen malfunction under the influence of the World Soul's energies remained, so we devise a new solution. The Earthen of Khazalgar will relinquish their memories into an archive to preserve recorded data, he says with finger quotes, and purge the influence of the World Soul's energies. So yeah, just make them forget about Azeroth, make them forget what they know, and then we can keep them all working like slaves.
And, like, prevent them from, like, becoming or sympathizing with the other Earthmen who have become Thragar already.
Yeah, and then he goes on and says, to secure compliance, the Titans have programmed edicts into the operational Earthen to regulate and enforce their discrete functions and efficiencies. So the edicts are basically all bullshit, which we kind of already knew. But then he says, should the edicts be broken, more permanent fail-safes have been set into place. Boy, I hope it's not the big mech guy we got a dragon ride through, because that would be really inconvenient to have to do that more and more.
Not even, like, dangerous or, like, scary. Just, like, annoying as fuck to deal with. And it's like, I'd rather not.
My favorite part, though, is his sign-off. He goes, I do not know why I commit this information to the archive, why I risk its discovery in the future. Perhaps the World Soul's influence does not extend solely to the Earthen. Is this bitch saying he's hearing Azeroth too?
He said, things are wacky crazy here. We're flying off the seat of our pants doing this thing.
Dagrin immediately comes in hot with the fucking... So this means the entire history of Azeroth is being called into question. What if our history isn't what they said it was? And cue the Titan fighting music.
Yeah, all signs points to us having to take on the Titans for basically lying to all of Azeroth to keep us in a similar position as, like, the edicts were used to keep the Earthen in check. So it's like, literally, what, if anything, that the Titans have told us over the years is true.
Which is it's such a wild checkmate. Like, people are like, oh, like, we're running out of horrors to fight. Like, we've defeated all the guys we knew from the Warcraft games. We fought the God of Death. What's next? It's like, well, hey, guess what, guy? Here's like 14 new people that we can just continue to scale up. What? Aman'Thul's been lifting weights. He's actually better than Zoval. It's like, damn.
Amin swole.
Shut up.
Let's see, what else we got over here? Okay, so you know how there's that new Azeroth book out, Islands and Isles, exploring Azeroth with Lorthamar and Thalrissa?
I didn't even know that. Wow, I'm learning new things every day.
Yeah, so what islands are they exploring in this one? It's the Broken Isles, Zandalar, Kultiris, Dragon Isles, I think.
Yeah, and then other. So the whole idea is that, I guess, Lorthamar and Thalrissa are going on a honeymoon. They're trying to find the perfect spot to spend their honeymoon. And as they're going through the islands to find where they want to be, they're going through old islands that are being updated through the book. Like we're learning what has happened on these various locations since we've been gone.
I wonder if what this means exactly. Like, will we start to see those changes in game then, you think?
I don't think so. I mean, I hope so, but I feel like that would be a big undertaking to do for, like, this.
Yeah, so what's an example of something that they saw while scoping out for their honeymoon then?
So the Broken Isles, the Nightborn, have all had the opportunity to eat the fruit of the Arcandor, fully removing the risk of withering from their society. They no longer wither in Suramar.
Honestly, I mean, like, good. Maybe they won't be so angry all the time.
Yeah, maybe they'll redouble their efforts and be like, you know what? There's a lot of elves over there on the other side, the Alliance. Why didn't we go with them?
I want to know, I had to get this book and read it, because I want to know how some of these things were like, how did this come up when they're on their honeymoon? Because I'm reading Wahed's bullet points. The second one they have here is, after the events of the zone's side quests, the menagerie in Suramar City no longer forcibly tames its animals with arcane magic, and instead allows its attractions, like Suesh, the Devil Sword, to roam free in their exhibition. How did that come up?
I mean, maybe they're just there and like, okay, so like Thalrissera in particular would have a concept of what it was like before because like this is where like she's from, right? So like they're probably just visiting the zoo and noticed that like things were roaming free.
There's a lot. Maybe I'm just gonna rapid fire off some of these, right? In the wake of the Legion invasion, warlocks have been fully expunged from Suramar. The withered are being slowly rehabilitated, so they're fixing them. Cordoferandis, the ghosts, are now working alongside the Nightborn to try to find a way to break their curse. Narthalos Academy is now open to the public, with both living and ghostly students making up its new class.
Okay.
That's gotta be a bummer to be a ghost student, and then one day Thorondus comes to you and he's like, "We perfected it. We can die now." And it's like, what? I'm interested in learning. he just sends you to the Shadowlands. It's like, what the fuck? Now I'm gonna miss my final.
The Eye of Ashara is now simply a regular beach. The Vault of the Wardens is fixed. We knew that.
I'm sorry. The Eye of Ashara is now just a regular beach. Was that the entire? That was the entire sentence.
It says it just says is now a regular beach cove inhabited by murlocs and animals with no Naga interference. So basically, yeah, that was the whole sentence.
You know what's so great about this beach, my darling? There's not a bunch of huge Scrog guys anymore. Yeah, those Scrog guys. That was a real interesting addition.
But, you know, this means the seagulls can still swarm and kill you, though. Like, that didn't have to do with the Naga, I don't think.
Yeah, has the real threat really been addressed here? The Naga were the ones keeping the seagulls away! Oh my god! They took my wife! Champion, you have to help me in Midnights. The seagulls took Thorifafra.
They should do that, though. They should actually do a seagull callback. Have them, like, invade somewhere randomly.
Did we get rid of the damn Vakrul and Stormheim? I'm tired of them. Never mind, because I forgot. We talked about before, they're going to come and find us at some point.
With Sigrun now established as Queen of the Tidescorn, the Vrykruel of Stormheim are no longer hostile to outsiders. So that's as close as we're going to get to an answer for that one. Here, finally, the interesting ones, right? Broken Shore has been totally transformed, with druids and shamans now working to fully restore life to its lands, and it's no longer fel-scarred. Tumas Argeris no longer has fel magic on it. The ghost of Egwin is now living inside of the Tumas Argeris. She's still there, hanging out.
Oh, damn. All of Val-Shara is cleared of the Emerald Nightmare, which is kind of crazy to see, too, because that's like at least half of the zone, I feel like.
They kicked all the ghosts out of Blackrook Hold. Bradensbrook is now a fully established village. Wow, Jesus, like this is a lot, and that was only the Broken Shore. There's a section for Zandalar. There's a section for Koltiris. Dragon Isles even has a section. And I'm like, guys, we were just there. Like, how the fuck? What happened since we were gone?
We visited the Dragon Isles and we just saw 4 Dragonkin picking things up. You've only been gone a week, Tharosar told us.
Honestly, the Zandalar ones kind of suck. Okay, let's do some Koltiris ones, right? So House Ashbane has been, everything that they owned has been taken control of by House Proudmoore. So that includes Tol Dagor, everybody.
I mean, this also just makes sense because, like, Lady Ashbane was turned into a crab and then we killed her, right? So, I mean, like, who's really in charge there now?
I just assumed all of the pirates owned it. Tol Dagor was split into 178 pieces.
They, like, basically everything that Ashbane owned, they just kind of just transferred over, which, yeah, like, the factories, the academies have been recruiting people.
Does that mean when big men jump me in Borealis, That's Katie's doing. Those are one of Catherine's boys. Control your crew, Catherine.
Arrest them. The Tide Sages were kicked out of the Stormsong Monastery, which I guess makes sense. Get rid of those guys. They've also completely renovated Waycrest Manor from the inside. The Order of Embers did a full renovation, and they've cleansed it of any magic. I hope it's like a hopping club now. They're all just chilling in there.
Imagine how they could have like a speakeasy just like in the deep underground part, because like what, there's like 5 levels below like the actual like ground floor, so like they could kind of go hard with that if they wanted to.
I didn't hear you over Discord, but I see you recorded that.
If you're talking, I can no longer hear you.
Can you hear me? So I'm going to do this really quick.
Did we disconnect
hey,
for a sec?
Discord's
wait,
dying.
yeah, no, Discord, I saw it go, it's like in and out. What's that?
Discord just crashed. I'm pretty sure it just died.
I can hear you
completely.
now.
We have 5 minutes left on recording.
Yeah, I don't hear Slide at all. Like, can y'all hear me or no?
I can hear
actually
you,
closed
yeah.
the Discord
And I
call,
saw you post
and it says I'm
Discord
still in
die.
it. That's how I know it's crashing. So top 2, bottom boot, medium moo.
Well, okay, Slide is trying to get us to start a top 2 bottom boot medium moot now. Do you want to go first, Aaron?
So I have a top toot this week,
Toot.
and I have to give a shout out to 2 of my classic friends, Poupon and Beta Boy.
Wait, excuse me. Where are Poupon and Beta Boy from? Who are these boys?
Poupon and Beta Boy were my chums. They were Rubdunk's chums from WoW Classic. They helped me with a series of quests in Loch Modan. They just we went back and forth a lot, and then at one point we completed the quest, and I said, "Guys, I'm gonna head out," and then they both just said, "Okay," simultaneously, and I was kicked from the group and I left.
But like, I feel like you would have had a hard time in Loch Modan without them, I guess.
Exactly, yeah. They helped me bridge the gap from level 12 to level 13. So thanks, Poupon and Beta Boy.
We love you, Poupon and Beta Boy. Hey, I'm back, everybody.
So Slidewhistle, now that I can hear you, tell me your TT BBMM.
I've got a bottom boot.
Boo.
My boot is that Discord crash during that.
Luckily, we were still able to make it work out. It's just very confusing for a second because like I looked over and then it said that like Discord was at like 5,000 MS on my end too for a second there. And I was like, Discord has that? What is this?
Yeah, me no know. I had an actual one, but I lost it in that kerfuffle. So, Immune, what do you got?
Well, let's see. I have a top toot this week. And it is that raid went very well. We got like our achievements done. We got AOTC on everyone. I got AOTC on my priest, and I divided it in such a way that like I got like 3 vault slots on like both characters, I think. So like I'm like, cool. Like I'm good to go now based on that. So then I just need to get some keys done. I get like a 10 done on each one, so then like at the very least I can have a socket. So yeah, no, it felt like a very successful week this week.
Hell yeah. Now we're just waiting for, what do we have the dates for? The next boy? It said they posted officially, right? January.
December 17th is, so in like 2 weeks here, a little bit under, will be 11.0.7 Siren Isle.
Yeah, and then we have to grind out a new ring, I guess, or something like that.
Yeah,
And
give us something to do.
ugly adventuring sets. The cloth one looks terrible. It'd be a
No.
t-shirt and some khakis.
What? Why is it a t-shirt and khakis?
it's just like it's like I saw a video that's like, get ready for Explorers Adventurers plate armor. And it's like a plate set. The Spy Master's mail. Okay. Beach set cloth, and it was just like a long sleeved shirt and tan pants. And I was like, wow, that looks horrible. Especially paired with a big brown cape. The set's not complete without a big brown cape. Like
Need
you're
that
playing
cape.
superhero at your nan's house.
I do have a haiku posted by user Raynuru, they posted this on the Siren Isle update preview. It reads as such. I still hope we are getting more class race combos and more playable races. Tuskar, Knowles, Hosen, Jinyu. But yeah, pirates are cool. Still feels like leftover BFA content tough. Damn. BFA could have been so much better if they just focused on one theme, war, and not 3 expansions in one.
I'm like snapping now.
Why did I try and keep up with haiku format to that?
He said haiku, but like it's more so just like a slam poem here.
Yeah, I was about to say it's slam poetry, but yeah, I was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's not correct.
Look at how it's written. I posted it in host chat. He wrote it like he was doing like just some weird poetry.
Speaking of weird poetry, here's a list of silly, funny names that I will say like a slam poet. Ahoy, Vince, Azarin, Heki, Digital Dave. Asking Growlina to say, for the Horde. Holy Hooves, the conqueror of Ogremar. Miskit, the Orchidee Orc. Mitch, who wants to remind everyone that Rathion is not daddy. He is the literal child. Crucifix, Crowmone, the inaugural Dorna Gooner. Alternator, Saracen Hawk, Kagul. Justin, give me back my PhD. Arcane, Chris M, Kick Puncher, Dr. Foster. Grumpy old shaman. Jerome, Adorno. Get off of me, you f***ing wildebeest. Losing the patient. Gershi is going to East Hills.
Get yourself an outfit.
Duff the Horde, Pooper, Cooper, Calkiss.
I am not drinking any fucking Merlot!
Cilantro. Remy.
This is fun!
Slidewhistle, Secret Stalker, Tee-hee-hee, Adam, and Vander Lyle. And Will, a.k.a. Tyre, Trade Chat's fallen father.
Will, are you there? This is a message for Will. Send. Who's calling me right now? Scam likely.
What are you painting your minifigs, Will? Honk!
Wait, is he painting minifigs? What's he doing? What's he painting?
He's a big 40K head right now.
Oh!
He often posts on his Blue Sky of him painting mini figurines.
My Blue Sky only shows. Well, I don't change it to my friends. I just have it on Discover, and I just scroll through Discover, and I'm like, oh wait, I don't follow these people.
Meanwhile, I only have it on Friends, so if you don't provide me content to munch on, it's a dead app.
Anyway, speaking of dead apps, not us. Check out DoNotRelent.com for all of our links and all of our links. Send us an email at DoNotRelentPod@gmail.com. Send me an email at Navarro. What's his face you're making over there? I mean, he's really not having this right now. Look at him.
It's confusing me the way you're talking right now.
Well, where are you guys at?
Well, you can find me, Alex or Immunization, on Twitter at New Era Alex or on Blue Sky at Immunization.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at TheBigAcheesy on Twitters.com. Watch me play video games at Twitch.tv/AaronDNR. And after this, I'll be watching the Big Green dub of Dragon Ball Z. Big Green!
The fuck's that mean?
There's an entire dub where Gohan refers to Piccolo as Big Green.
Yes. I thought there was something new happened. Okay, we'll see you, everybody. See you at Patreon. Bye.
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.